Welcome back to AskAPop. Today we're making a list, maybe checking it twice. Okay, full disclosure here. I'm really trying to get that 2 by 6 by 12 out of my eye while I'm writing this or reading it. And as many of you know, well, I guess everybody now knows that Saturday's my day to shop. And to that end, it's planning time. And that means first I try to figure out what the family's going to want to eat for the week. And then I kind of go through and make a list, figure out what we're going to need to make that happen. And then I'll sit down, write it out, and then before we go anywhere, me and the boss man will sit down and fill up our bellies to make sure that we don't stray from the list while we're at the grocery store. And then we'll finally grab our purse with the money in it and then head out the door. So why the SSA, you ask? Well, that's a really good question, and I'm glad you asked. So I was driving to the Mecca with little man in the back, and that's when it stopped, and I thought just how much time and thought we put into this trip versus how much time and thought we put into the going to, just on down the road to the Lord's house on Sunday. And then I thought, how much happier he would be if we put anywhere near that much thought and preparation and planning into going to Sunday school or Sunday worship. Boy, it hit me like a ton of bricks, and made me stop and think, and it might maybe make you think too, or maybe you all have already got this down and you've got it in spades, and maybe it's just me that needs to do more, that does more prepping for his meals in the week than he does for Sunday services. But I tell you what, I think around here that's about to change, and this is just a thought from a guy that's got a lot of groceries and now even more on his mind. Anyway, the Bible verses for this week are Psalm 100 and Matthew 7, 1 through 5. As far as question goes, how much time do you spend prepping for Sunday worship or Sunday school? Teachers, now I know that you do because, heck, I are one. And something else, I saw my papa used to do something. He used to take notes during church, and then all week long he'd dissect that sermon. And then the following week, he'd go back and he'd ask the preacher a bunch of questions about the previous week's sermon. So he kind of did this in reverse. Wonder if any of you all do that. Anyway, just a thought. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great day.